Warrington have Lee Penny at full-back, Mark Forster, Toa Coe-Love, Jonathan Roper in the centres and Richard Henare, Iestyn Harris and Willie Swan making his full Super League debut at scrum-half. Up front, it's Mark Hilton, Andy Bennett and Gary Chambers, Paul Sculthorpe, Paul Cullen, the captain, and Chris Rudd at loose forward. On the bench, it's Matiaki Maffey, Paul Barrow, Phil Sumner, and the Welshman Mark Jones. The coach is John Dorahy. And the big surprise for the St Helens club is that Vila Matautia, who's on your screen now, has been moved up to play in the centres this evening, something he has done in the past during his Doncaster days. But he has come into the centres because Scott Gibbs is injured, and so too is Anthony Sullivan. Steve Prescott plays at full-back. Arnold, Matautia, Newlove and Hunt comes in on the wing for Sullivan. Hammond and Goulding, the half-back, who's the captain, of course. And up front, it's Perolini, Cunningham, Leatham, McVie, Booth and Joint. Waiting their chance, Chris Morley, Tommy Martin, such an influence when he has come on this season, Picker Vance Haig, and the coach is Sean McRae. Interesting indeed, that St Helens team lineup. Let's get a word now about the battles that you can see in the match that we will have for you tonight. And first of all, Steve-O turns his attention to the battle of the fullbacks. Lee Penny against Steve Prescott.
Seize the day.
Lee Penny is one of the hardest fullbacks to tackle. This stocky character slams into the opposition with great gusto and often surprises the big men attempting the ball and all tackle. His upper body strength is phenomenal. Penny has beaten the first line of defence 28 times this season. So Saints know they must kick well away from him tonight. And they know he's strong on defence too. And it will have to be to stop the Saints fullback Steve Prescott, who is in fine form. He may not have the body bulk of Penny, but he puts his body on the line when defusing the bomb. Most fullbacks are happy just to regain possession, but not this guy. He's always on the lookout for an opening. He has a net gain of over 300 metres this season, so the attacking ability of both fullbacks tonight should make for exciting viewing. Prescott linked into the back line well, and his positional sense is outstanding. Only the best kicks will find him wanting.
Two tremendous young fullbacks on show here tonight then, Steve-O, but what do these statistics for their performances this season tell you?
Well, they're both very adventurous players, but you can see Lee Penny is having to do far more tackling, and that's because Warrington, even though they're high in the table, they've got 186 points against them. They have problems with that first line of defence. They both carry the ball well, but there you see Lee Penny, very difficult to pull down, 100 metres gained as against Steve Prescott, 65. It should be a very entertaining challenge. And of course, the other big battle today is Toa Coe-Love against Paul Newlove. This will be a cracker too. There you see 17 tackles, 13 missed tackles. Now that's a big problem with Coe-Love. He does have a tendency to miss the vital tackles. 7 carries as against Paul Newlove. He's got 13. And look at the metres gained, 143. Newlove is a very strong attacking player, and it won't be an easy night for Coe-Love tonight, that is for sure.
Yeah, should be a big battle in the centres. I mean, Paul Newlove, Martin Afire, what sort of a player is he to play against? He looks so strong.
Well, I mean, he's the $500,000 man, you know, probably, you know, arguably the best centre in the world. You know, I've been quite fortunate to play outside him, you know, for Great Britain. The only bad point about playing outside Newlove sometimes is he's so good, he doesn't need you know, he scores a lot of tries. I think Anthony Sullivan, you know, is out there with a calf strain, but I think Sully's only got 1 try this season, and I think Newey's got about 17. You know, with a player with such class, sometimes you don't need the winger, sometimes you can become a bit redundant.
That's true, but I wonder whether he's taken the pressure off you a little bit, because you were the most expensive player in the world,
well,
now you're not.
I think the attention on me was there regardless of how much I cost. You know, I don't know, I seem to be a bit of a sort of cult hate figure, a bit like Steve, you know.
Oh, you know, no one hates as much as him, surely.
In rugby league, so in some ways it has.
Nearly the same hairstyle anyway. That's
in some ways it has, because, you know, people still cry all a waste of money anyway, but, you know, it's more so the pressure on him, and obviously, you know, he's doing very well. As anyone can tell you, know, if you've been transferred for a lot of money, as long as things are going well, you score tries, you know, you manage to silence people.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at the way these two sides sit in the Super League Championship table. Top against third tonight. Steve-O, the Saints, with Wigan breathing down the neck, they're under pressure.
A lot of pressure. They've got to perform tonight because they can't let Wigan in.
And do you think that they will open the door? I mean, there has been a feeling against Halifax and against the Broncos that the Saints have perhaps been creaking.
Well, the problem is that they go to sleep. That is the big problem, that they get the tries on the board, then they just forget it. They lose the plot and allow the opposition to get to them. They've got to start and fire very quickly today.
Well, we have new viewers joining the Sky Sports Super League team all the time, of course. And I think the best thing for us to do now is to bring you up to date with one of the rulings. Steve-O here will explain to you the forward pass rule now.
When is a forward pass not a forward pass? When the momentum rule comes into force. In this example, you can see that whilst the ball travels forward in relation to the ground, it has in fact travelled backwards in relation to the player who threw it, and therefore is not a forward pass.
Watch out for the momentum rule during the course of this evening's game then here on Sky Sports. Super League Live tonight, it's Warrington against the Saints. Warrington, third place, and Helens top, and they really do have to win. But this is a ground, as Steve-O said earlier, they don't like coming to. We'll be outside with him next. Stay with us. Welcome back to Wilderspool Stadium for Warrington against St Helens, live on Sky Sports tonight. Warrington third, the Saints top. Warrington, it's their stiffest test at Wilderspool so far. Let's meet the teams now as they emerge from the dressing rooms behind the match referee, David Campbell. St Helens, led by Bobby Goulding, Alan Hunt back in the side. Big welcome for them here at Wilderspool from their travelling army of supporters. Big night for the Saints, league leaders, 100%. Can they maintain that record here at Wilderspool? A ground where they don't really like coming to. And Paul Cullen leads the Warrington team onto the field. Big night for Warrington too, unbeaten here at Wilderspool so far this season. Right, let's go down to pitch side where Steve-O will individually introduce us to the teams.
Thanks, Eddie. Well, it's not the most happiest hunting ground for the Saints side. They've only won here twice in their last 7 visits. But one man I'm sure will be wanting to get victory in his mind, and that is the Saints skipper, number 7, Bobby Goulding. Number 1 is Steve Prescott. Number 14 is Danny Arnold. 22, the big fella, Vila Matautia. Number 4 is Paul Love. 21 is Alan Hunt. 6 is Carl Hammond. 8 is Apollo Perellini. Number 9 is Kieran Cunningham. 17 is Andy Leatham. 16 is Derek McVie, 12 is Simon Booth, and 11 is Chris Joint. And now let's hear it for the Wires, led by my skipper, number 12, Paul Cullen. Number 1 is Lee Penny, 2 is Mark Forster, number 3, Toa Coe Love, 16 is John Roper, 15 is Richard Enare, number 6 is Euston Harris, 23 is William Swan, number 8 is Mark Hilton, 21 is Andy Bennett, 10 is Gary Chambers, 13 is Paul Sculthorpe, and 14 is Chris Rudd.
So that's the way the two sides line up here at Wilderspool tonight. We're just about ready now then for this top match of round 8. Match referee is David Campbell, and he tells us that Warrington will get this game underway. The Saints then will attack from left to right as we watch. big night for both these sides. Local derby, local pride at stake. Saints up at the top of the table, 100%. This match couldn't be bigger. Iestyn Harris then, Welsh international, the International Player of the Year, about to get us underway. We're live and exclusive at Wilderspool Stadium, and this could be one of the best games of the season. And let's face it, we have seen some crackers on Sky Sport this year. Matautia with the first run, a reception committee of 3. Gary Chambers eventually letting him up, but Warrington caught offside. Here's the team: Penny, Foster, Coe Love, Roper, Henare, Harris and Swan. Up front, Hilton, Bennett, Chambers, Sculthorpe, Cullen and Rudd. On the bench, Maffey, Barrow, Sumner and Jones. Saints, Prescott, Arnold, Matautia, Newlove, Hunt, Hammond and Goulding the skipper. Perolini, Cunningham, Leatham, McVie, Booth and Joint. On the bench, Morley, Martin, Pickavance and Hay. Quite a game in prospect. Saints in possession then. 47 seconds gone, just inside the Warrington half. 3 of them wrestling to bring the St Helens player to the ground. Kieran Cunningham, they know how dangerous he is from the dummy half roll. Derek McVie straight into the chest of Mark Hilton. Now Cunningham with a little bit of space. He makes it to the 20-metre line. 4 tackles gone. Goulding gets the pass to Joint. Joint takes them on, down the middle. 3 come in, close him down. Hall, the big loose forward, to the ground. And almost an intercept there by Chambers. It's play on, but the referee will play the first knock on. In fact, he's given a penalty because Chambers was too quick off the mark.
He moved off the mark far too quickly. Prop forward there. Took a step at the play of the ball. Well spotted by the referee, David Campbell.
And so Bobby Goulding will take the opportunity for the first kick at goal this evening. Terrific atmosphere inside the stadium. Goulding, 46 Super League goals so far. Preferred to Sean Edwards for the England job. I think probably the first time in his career that he has headed Edwards in selection battle for an international jersey. He's got Phil Larder's confidence. He will also kick the goals, and he kicks the first one here tonight. Bobby Goulding gives St Helens a 2-point lead early.
Bad mistake there by Gary Chambers, allowing Saints to get off to the flying start that they were wanting. That will have calmed the nerves. St Helens, as we mentioned before the game, it's not a happy hunting ground for them, but that is a good start. They'll build on that.
Ball drops high out of the sky, and Paul Cullen prefers to trap it with the foot, then sets off on a run. Talking to Paul Cullen last night and this morning, pumped up for this match. Richard Henare, the man that they brought from Carlisle. Now Hilton. Both prop forwards in this Warrington side have been ever present in Super League so far. Here's the other, Gary Chambers, making good yards up the middle. Pulled down, though, by Andy Leatham. Now then, chance here for Warrington to attack. Sculthorpe, it's on the last tackle. He plays the ball quickly. Harris dabs the ball through and over the top. Prescott will pick up.
Well, the chase is good, and it's Iestyn Harris, the man who kicked it. But it was not the best kick from Harris.
Alan Hunt doesn't make too much progress, not when Hilton and Chambers are after him. Matautia might. Matautia straight into the chest of Cullen. He escapes that one. He escapes also the attempt by Bennett.
Tremendous run there by the big fella, playing in the centre. Normally the second rower, but it's a wise switch perhaps by the St Helens coach, Sean McRae. He has played in the centre before in his Doncaster days.
Paul Newlove knows all about playing in the centres. It's desperate defence to keep him out. Cunningham to Perolini.
Now will we see Bobby Goulding taking control? Yes, he's there.
And he fancies a high kick to test Lee Penny right underneath the sticks. Oh, Prescott comes up with it, and Prescott scores the try. Well, Goulding has wreaked havoc with those high kicks this season, and Penny, another fullback to be caught out. Terrific kick. Great race from Prescott.
Just when they said the bomb was going out of fashion. Not at Saints, not with Bobby Goulding. And what a great jump there. You could see Steve Prescott wanted the ball more than Lee Penny. Lee Penny was left grounded. He really should have gone up for the ball, but he just stands there. Prescott, he out-jumped him, takes the 4 on offer. He had all the time in the world. Sculthorpe was the only one that came anywhere near, but look at him there. You've got to jump and take that ball. Lee Penny didn't. Steve Prescott did.
A flying start for Steve Prescott and the Saints. Terrific leap. Always difficult, of course, for the fullback under pressure from the man rushing towards him. Now then, this is an important kick for Bobby Goulding. Not only does it increase the Saints' lead, but that's his 500th two-pointer in his career. 8-0, St Helens ahead.
They know he's a kicker. Look at all the space that they've allowed Bobby Goulding. Sculthorpe was the only one that got anywhere near. No protection. Bang.
Prescott just onside as he chased that kick. They have to stand behind the kicker, remember. The call on that occasion from Chris Rudd from the kickoff. He decided to take first tackle. First tackle arrives courtesy of Chris Joint. Well, what a start for the league leaders. 8-0 up. Oh, but look at this run here from Henare. Terrific break from Henare. He's got some pace. He's trying to take Prescott out wide. Wonderful tackle. Great tackle from Prescott. Well, try scorer a moment ago. Try saver now.
Tremendous break from Henare. But the man of the moment, the fullback, Steve Prescott, he wasn't hanging around. Well, some of the crowd, the Warrington fans, thought perhaps that the tackle had been completed, but it wasn't the best attempt. But look at the kid go. He thought he had the pace, but Prescott was even to him. He was still moving. That's why it's given the touch, and the head and feet to Saints of the scrum.
And that's why Matautia is in possession, and those three close him down. Cullen in there quickly, so too Hilton. Now Perolini. That's good defence, though, from Warrington this time. Sculthorpe in, so too Chambers. Dummy half is Cunningham. He gets the ball away to McVie. McVie gets it off to Latham.
Good work again from the hooker, Andy Bennett. He's a stocky guy, but he's strong and he's tough. He's really working overtime. Oh boy, these two sides mean business tonight.
Goulding again with the space to kick downfield, and it takes a bounce. Penny watches it. It was a difficult one to collect, and he just had to let it run out of play.
Good kick there from Bobby Goulding, the experience. He knew that they were under pressure, and he's saying, come on, keep it going. We must apply the pressure now. Tremendous kick. But what a great bomb there, Eddie. He did it 3 times at Wembley, and that was equal to it, wasn't it?
Sensational kick, and didn't it hang in front of the post as well? Penalty, meanwhile, at the scrum to Warrington.
You see how they hold the ball in the scrum. You can see McVie is already broken away from the scrum. You must keep a complete 6. Cannot break away. It was well spotted by Campbell, the referee. Oh, that was high. He's missed it, though.
Mark Hilton felt it, but gets up, plays the ball. Chambers takes it over. Good defence this time from St Helens, just inside the Warrington half of the field. Andy Bennett was the dummy half. He got it away to Sculthorpe. Latham on top of and all round Sculthorpe. Now here's Cullen. Gets the pass away to Rudd. Oh, and he manages to hold on to it at the second attempt, despite the effort from Hammond and Matautia.
He did well then, because Hammond had lined him up.
Good ball on the inside. Henare has switched wings. He's over this side now. McVie in quickly to cut the options down. Harris. Now he will try a high floating kick from one side to the other. Alan Hunt didn't get to it. They've picked up Coe Love, and he's bundled almost into the crowd.
And who is it again? Fullback Steve Prescott. It was a tremendous kick. Hunt made a meal of it. Forster was all over him. And look at the guy go for it. It looked as though he was in, but the touch, he had his foot on the line, and that's out. But that man, Steve Prescott, what a game. 9 minutes, 34 seconds, and he's the start of the show. That there is no doubt.
Fresh from his 80th appearance for St Helens against London last week. Steve Prescott certainly winning the battle that we picked out for you at the moment between the two full-backs. And Matautia's presence in the centres is making people sit up and take notice also. Now here's Newlove, gets past Coelho first time, but the young man from Warrington stuck to his guns. Hunt from dummy half.
Just got him by the fingertips there. That's going to be a great battle. Paul Newlove, Toa Coelho. It's rough, it's tough, and it's furious.
Goulding again with space to hoist another hanging high kick. Penny wants it this time. He doesn't get it. He got the man, fortunately. It was Prescott again.
Well, there was one man there helping, but dearie me, they've got to give him a little bit more protection than that. And we saw again, Lee Penny is not jumping off the ground. The Warrington coach, John Dorrie, has got to get the message out to him. You've got to start lifting your body up in the air.
Chambers twists, gets the pass away. As St Helens hadn't touched that, it's down to 6 again. 6 to go here as Penny takes on Leatham, and Leatham wins that particular struggle. Now then, Harris. St Helens look to Goulding and Warrington look to Harris to change the course of matches. And that tackle is surely held, and it's a penalty to Warrington. They didn't release him after the referee called.
Campbell was calling out, but the crowd are going bananas here. You can hardly hear yourself think. Padalini had a hand on it, and it wasn't the best kicking to touch. They gained about 1 metre, that's all.
Mark Hilton is dragged to the floor. The dummy half is Andy Bennett taking on Newlove. Newlove hauls him down. Now Chambers.
Chambers looking there to offload, but I'm afraid the second phase of attack wasn't there.
Swan to Cullen. Cullen then inside to Harris, who's being well watched by Cunningham. 12 minutes of the match gone. The leaders ahead, 8 points to 0. Sculthorpe, the only member of this Warrington side in the England squad for the International Championship. Now Willie Swan dabs the ball through, but Prescott's there, and he was caught in goal.
Good decision by the referee as well. You'll see that Steve Prescott's foot was in the field of play when he touched the ball. Yeah, tremendous stuff there. You have to be quick, and referee David Campbell was Johnny on the spot. He was then.
The drop out into the arms of Cullen. Good tackling by Matautia. Henare to Hilton. Oh, what a tackle that was from Perolini. Referee not happy though. It was the flop. It was McVie who was penalised. It was a super tackle from Perolini.
Perolini did all the work. McVie there just pushed him down. Silly play, especially when you've got an 8-point lead. Given Warrington the great opportunity now. The Australian just losing the marble somewhat.
Yes, it was his hands on the back of the grounded player. David Campbell spotted it, and this allows Iestyn Harris with this opportunity to kick 2 points for Warrington and get them underway. And if Bobby Goulding has reached one milestone tonight, Iestyn Harris is on the brink of a milestone also. He needs 2 goals for 150 with the Warrington club. Scored 24 points against Sheffield here last Sunday. Was the difference between the two sides, according to Sheffield Eagles coach Gary Hetherington. It's a big kick, this. It's well within his range, but it's a big night. Tensions in the air. It's just scraped it inside the post, and Warrington are off the mark. Converted try is the gap. 8 points to 2. Saints ahead. Their last defeat away from home for St Helens came against Halifax in January, and Warrington are unbeaten here at Wilderspool. John Dorahy is trying to make Wilderspool the fortress for his Warrington team. Harris restarts. Finds touch.
Nice kick off there from Harris. Goulding no chance to get to it. You could see that Arnold, the winger, was way back. Anticipating the long one, John Dorrie. Well, he knows that he's still got quite a lot of work to do. And I don't think he'll be impressed by the way that the forwards are working hard, but there's no support as yet.
Matautier, such a strong man. He nearly bounced Yestin Harris over the top of the stand then. That's better defence from Warrington. And to be fair, Steve, as you have said, the Warrington forwards have been doing their task, but little in support behind them.
Yep, they've got to get it sorted out. The second phase has got to be sorted. Otherwise, they'll be running out of steam, because this has been played at terrific pace. Look at that. 10 missed tackles from Warrington, only 2 from Saints. And that shows that they really are on the rack. And Saints know it, and Bobby Goulding's taking control again.
There's the high kick. That's a bit deep, though, that one. And that finds only the St Helens supporters behind the sticks there.
He won't be happy with that, and he's not.
Well, he used the slide rule for the first one.
I know who will be happy. Lee Penny. He knows he's in for a nightmare night from this fella.
It's always difficult, Steve-o, for the full-backers. Poor old Nathan Graham discovered at Wembley to go up from a standing start with people rushing at you.
It's not easy, but they're paid professionals, and on both occasions there, Lee Penny has failed to launch himself off the ground. You've got to do it. You've got to compete.
Oh, and that was a knock-on by Willie Swan. It was a pass, to be fair to him, that was way in front of him.
Well, not happy that Gary Chambers will be saying sorry, but Willie Swan knows that the pressure is still being applied.
Goulding now gets the pass to Alan Hunt.
Tremendous work on the blind side there. You could see, oh, was the interference? It's got to be a penalty. I think you'll find that Sculthorpe's hands was in there. Yep. And then Swan had a little bit of a dab at it. But it was a lovely move on the blind side there. Bobby Goulding peeling away, loose forward, and using the referee to its full effect.
Perolini now. Matautier. Little change of step and direction from Matautier. And he was rushing then straight down the throat of Penny. And he's got a penalty, I think.
Yeah, that was a flop, and I'm afraid he's got to get the yellow card out for this one. Or is he just going to warn him and say the next time, any player, you're going to go?
Chris Rudd, the offender.
Well, the loose forward just had another second go at it. Look at this, all over the top. Well, they're having a lot of trouble with the big fella. Vila Matautier, playing in the centres. Loose forward Chris Rudd tonight. Knows it's not going to be easy. And the big fella is he's fired up.
Well, Matautier has played in the centres before during his Doncaster days. But Chris Rudd penalised there. He's never played at loose forward before. Bobby Goulding here then with a chance to add 2 more points to the St Helens score. Little cheeky grin from Goulding there as well, because he knows that 2 more points are on the way. Warrington 2 points, the Saints 10. Must say, Steve-o, the St Helens team looking like league leaders tonight.
Looking very solid, aren't they? But they've been helped along by the lack of discipline by Warrington. 2 easy penalties. Though, to be fair, they gave a silly one also. McVie giving Warrington their only chance to get those 2 points. Both coaches will be unhappy with that. You've got to keep your discipline good.
Warrington in possession. Chambers, that's the second tackle. Dummy half is Bennett. Richard Henare is drifting all over this field from right wing to left and then up the middle, trying to find the opening. Bennett trying to scuttle away from dummy half. Newlove got him round the ankles. There's Willie Swan. Harris helps it on to Sculthorpe. That's a lovely ball. And here is Chris Rudd again. Rudd fed by Roper. He's taking him on the outside. Prescott will not be beaten tonight. Prescott, the fullback, is having a quite fantastic game for St Helens.
Beautiful play by Warrington. Jonathan Roper sent the fella away. Oh, it was a great tackle, wasn't it? Chris Rudd felt that. He lined him up, did Steve Prescott, but that's a Jonathan Roper pass. It was superb. And notice how the loose forward gets pegged down. Bang, ball and all. Super upper body strength.
Has somebody told Steve Prescott, Steve-O, that you have picked him out for a battle tonight between him and his opposite number, Lee Penny? Because he's playing like a man possessed.
He's had a great season. Tremendous season.
This is the way the battle's going. Penny has made 2 crucial tackles, but so too has Prescott.
Bit of a knock on there. There's the hit-up stat. Cunningham makes a very, very few errors like that. Well, it was played back pretty quickly. He's usually very safe. He's another that's had a tremendous season, isn't he, Kieran Cunningham?
Swan feeds the scrum, gives it to Harris. Harris then tries to find Penny on a diagonal run. Joint and Prescott would not be fooled. Warrington setting for a move here perhaps, but Forster taking it up the middle on his own.
Well, Lee Penny, the fullback, came a little bit too early on that move. They'd hardly got the crisscross working.
Swan, it was well picked up in the end by Roper, and Roper with strength gets the pass inside. Play on. He released the ball before he was forced into touch.
Panic football, but at least he did well to try to get it on the inside. Swan was shouting for the football. Oh, that is heavy. That was a great tackle from Mark Hilton. Oh, and Cunningham didn't like it.
Chris Joint surrounded by blue jerseys. Warrington beat St Helens here last September 28-16, and that home record of course is on the line tonight. Newlove surrounded and hauled back. Good play, good defence. It's a super game. Played at such a pace. The players of both sides hadn't taken a breather. We're 22 minutes in.
Nice kick from Bobby Goulding. He could see that Forster had come in off the wing. Changed the angle of attack. Look at this. Bang. Straight over. You can see he was stranded, was Forster. That's good thinking. Little halfback, the skipper, he's using his brains tonight.
Well, we've had some 5-star matches in Super League already this season, but this one, at the moment, ranking with the best. It's rough, it's tough, it's highly competitive.
Well, Warrington knew that this was going to be their tester, to prove not only to themselves but to their fans that they can compete at the top of the big Super League table.
This is Chambers on halfway. Great defence. Cunningham was there, so too Andy Leathan. Bennett the dummy half. Swan, not the best pass again, but he got away with it. Coe Love picks it up. They've got him round the shorts. Swan has supported. Pulls the band back on the inside. It's Forster. Good defence from Simon Booth.
You can also thank Chris Joint for getting to Coe Love then. He was away.
Harris ducking and darting and trying to weave his way through. Pops the ball up. It's still on. And that was Cunningham, who did well against his opposite number, Andy Bennett. Back to Sculthorpe. Warrington switched the direction of the attack. Little kick in through, but Alan Hunt just jumped over it. Forster was breathing down his neck. Forster claiming that Hunt got a touch on this.
I doubt it. It was a good option, though. Hunt did well to get over the top of the ball. Forster screaming at the touch judge, to no avail.
Good to see him back in the side, Alan Hunt. Missed all of last season with knee problems. Now here's Booth again.
Oh, he's got to get him for that. Caution on the run there for Gary Chambers. Whoa, get under it. And what happens after that? Mark Hilton got him with a beauty. All above board, that one, though, from Hilton. It wasn't from Chambers.
Nice ball from Goulding on the inside to Newlove. Such strength Paul Newlove has. Well done, Cullen. He hung on to his shirt tails. Goulding drills the ball along the ground. That's the wrong side of the post. That's going touch in goal. He's unhappy with it.
I think you could say that, yes. Well, his kicking has been so good so far in this game, and that was a poor one. He knows it. Well, I feel that Warrington are going to have to change their tactics. They've just been using the battering ram forwards and not being able to get the ball away. The Saints' defence is good. One going down and the other one smothering the pass.
Cullen gets the pass away to Rudd. He is surrounded by Matautia and Leatham. Andy Bennett is the dummy half. Willie Swan into the arms of Harris. Joint got hold of Harris. He got the pass away, though, to Sculthorpe. And the tackle from Booth was on the shoulder, says the referee Campbell. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Coe Love. Coe Love. He's got some talent, this boy. What a magnificent try. Quite brilliant. There was nothing on. And Coe Love cut them to pieces up the middle. The first tackle Prescott's missed.
The Saints' defence went up quickly. And it was a beautiful pass from the hooker. He held it well, did Andy Bennett. He's having a fine game, but look at that step. He really did come back on the inside. The step off the right was absolutely superb. He scored it, but the little hooker, Andy Bennett, created it. They're classing this guy as going to be one of the great players. It is superb speed, and look how he just runs in the arc. Steve Prescott. He lifts the finger, the acclaim of the crowd, the 4 points. Warrington are well and truly back in this one.
Toa Coe Love, the 19-year-old sensation. 6 tries in 8 games now. Tremendous try that drags Warrington back into this match. He's a real talent, and he wants to play, he says, for England at international level. He's a junior Kiwi. He must have a qualification somewhere down the line, and Coe Love is a rare, rare talent that Warrington have found. So is this fellow, Iestyn Harris. From bang in front, this will level it. It's all square at Wilderspool. I'm sorry, I've added an extra 2 for Warrington. It's 8-10. I thought the try was worth 6 on its own, Steve-O.
Ah, you're always giving them away. Beautiful play by Andy Bennett. He saw that they were weak on the blind side. He worked hard, but this guy did too. Beautiful arc run. Nothing that Steve Prescott could do about that. A great combination. He really is a wonderful player. Tremendous balance.
10 points to 8. Matautia picks it up. Look at him go. Ooh. Cunningham making good yards from the dummy half.
Both sides eager to get on with it. They wanted to play the ball quickly. They know it's the only way to split the solid defence.
Well, I tell you, it's being played at breakneck pace, this game. And one St Helens player who is out injured and missing this match, I'm sure he's annoyed that he is Andy Northey, who is on the touchline with Alistair.
Well, it's a breathtaking atmosphere, a breathtaking game, and Wire have got themselves back in it now.
Yes, I mean, certainly, Saints will be thankful that Steve Prescott's out there. He's pulled off a couple of a real sort of try-saving tackles. Saints, I mean, we've held the ball, we've controlled the ball, played our set to 6, and we've only made 1 handling error. We've just missed too many one-up tackles, and they've made a few breaks, Warrington, and we've got them back in the game.
They did have a good spell, Warrington. It was important for you to hold out, and you just couldn't.
Well, that was it. I mean, coming here to Warrington, we'd have been happy with 0-0 after 20 minutes. As it happens now, what is it, 10-8? But certainly, we had that 10-point lead, really, and we've let Warrington back into it now. I mean, we've got to just match their enthusiasm and see how we go from there.
Thanks very much.
Warrington in possession again. Henari taking on Goulding, and Goulding up to the task then. Now Willie Swan finds Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe to Coe Love. Hunt wraps him up.
Great tackle there, ball and all. He came in off the wing. He's hurt Coe Love too. He winded him.
Crossfield kick from Harris. Arnold with no one putting any pressure on him.
Did well, did the youngster there. Stood his ground. Look at the concentration. Eyes on the football all the time. He brought the arms up and cradled the ball into his chest. What a find this kid is.
There are some fantastic tackles going on here. Perolini just a few moments ago, man carrying the ball, put one in on a Warrington player. And we've just seen Hilton steaming in. Some great tackling. It's a fabulous match.
It's bruising all the way through, but Perolini's pile driver, that's been the best so far. More, please. How long can these players last? 30 minutes into this game, and it's 100 miles an hour. They didn't like that, the fans, but the referee, Campbell, said it was across the chest, and I think he's right.
And Hammond drills the ball downfield.
Good thinking there. The standoff said, hey, let's get out of here. And there were the tactics that they used in the first 20 minutes, and it was Payne turning this Warrington side around. They know they're hanging on grimly to that 2-point lead. Both sides are making the breaks.
The Saints are making a change, and on comes Chris Morley. Derek McVie, the Australian, is the man who goes off. The referee just waiting and holding the clock up while that scrum forms, so as Morley can take his place. Ball shoots out, and Willie Swan retains possession for Warrington.
Well, the ball came out and then it was kicked back in again. Oh, Perellini, pile driver number 2. Well, we shouted for it, and he's produced the goods.
Harris trying to spread the play out wide. Sculthorpe and disentangles himself from Hunt. And here now is Mark Hilton. And Coe Love, this extraordinary talent that Warrington have unearthed. His mum apparently comes from Hull, and that's why he fancies playing for England. Cullen's dropped it. Hammond's after it. Cullen's after it. Cullen gets there, but he's trapped in goal.
Will they play? They'll play the knock-on.
Bringing it back for the knock-on, yes.
Yeah. Hammond got the fingertips to it in the first place. But full credit to the referee, Campbell. Not that there was going to be much advantage given there to Paul Cullen, but he did well, did Cullen, to get out of the way. He made sure.
Henare again. Chambers has gone off. Sumner's come on. Prop forward for prop forward.
Another top run there from Henare. Well, Warrington, first 15-20, they use their forwards. Now they've realised, get it out wide.
First touch for Sumner. Gets away from Perellini. That's a feat in itself, the way Perellini's been hunting tonight. Willie Swan. The run up the middle was from Hilton.
That's hard work. They've got to swing it out wide now.
Harris releases the pass to his skipper, Cullen. Cullen is all wrapped up, though. Andy Bennett, the dummy half. Chunky little player. Rudd dabs it through. Prescott's there, sweeps up the danger, and this is where he's so good. He launches attacks from runs like this.
One of the best positional fullbacks in the game, Steve Prescott. He reads the game so well. Knew the kick was coming. They kept a tight hold on this fella, haven't they? Paul Newlove. Look at that. So difficult to tackle. Good fend, nice step, and away he goes.
Saints in possession, Booth. And that was Sumner, who went a bit high on Booth. Goulding applies the brakes twice. Calls Alan Hunt back on his inside.
Crunch time there. You could see he launched himself. But it was legal.
It was. At speed, it looked worse than it was. Cunningham, the dummy half. Goulding. Oh, that's good stuff. Well done by Chris Rudd.
Yep. His play on there. He actually went for it, did Rudd. And here's another difficult man to put down. So strong, Lee Penny.
Referee says the tackle was held. He was stood up. Forster.
Good thinking as well. Quick from the dummy half position. But he's impressed with this kid. Andy Bennett. He's working so hard.
Well, 22 times he was a substitute last season. He's deputising for John Huff. Oh, and there was nearly nobody at home there. Coe Love had to come across. Hilton played the ball so quickly, there was nobody there.
Well, that really was bad. The centre had to come in from about 15 metres. Could realise that there was no one there. Warrington was setting up for a link out wide, and they forgot about the halfback.
Hammond to Matautia. Good tackling there by the number 16, Jonathan Roper.
Spotted it well, didn't he? Saw the big fella coming back on the inside. Oh, this is big stuff. Morley.
Harris on Morley.
I think Morley came off better.
Joint dumped to the ground. Watch this. Oh.
Used to the elbow, perhaps, but it was on the chest, thankfully.
Goulding with a little dummy. Well pulled down by Sculthorpe.
That doesn't surprise me. Sculthorpe is the leading tackler in Super League. He really is a worker.
And there he is again.
Averaging, would you believe, over 32 tackles per game. Extraordinary effort from him.
Time and a half then for Goulding to hoist the kick again. Cunningham's after this. Oh, and Penny waited again. He didn't launch himself. The ball just dropped into his arms. And he's all wrapped up now by Hammond. Eventually.
Well, once again, what is he doing? His timing is wrong. Cunningham put him under pressure. Things got a bit out of hand there. Bobby Goulding, the skipper, is running through. Get out of the way. Hammond, he says, calm down. But Lee Penny is having a nightmare. He was lucky to get away with that. You saw clearly, and this is the incident. Get out of the way. Elbows at 4 paces. Well, not exactly the battle of the giants, but it's a battle nonetheless.
And it's a penalty to Warrington, which has angered the St Helens supporters. But it's Warrington who are in possession for all of that. Hilton. Cunningham stood there as firm as a rock, and he had a little bit of support from Perolini. Harris. Sculthorpe couldn't take the ball with him. He's lost it on halfway. Joint has it back.
Bringing the ball back on the inside, but they're really not using the dummy runners enough. It was well spotted by Bobby Goulding. He shut it all down. They really work hard, these coaches. They look at the videotapes. They know exactly what other teams' moves are.
Lovely jinking run this from Hammond. Harris gets the tackle in, but it's with Morley. Morley carries the run on. Goulding again. Flat run, and then he brought Simon Booth into it. Booth had the shirt ripped off his back. Trying to get to his feet. St Helens crowd appealing for penalty, non-forthcoming. Matautia. Good defence.
They did that move at Wembley. It came off on that occasion, but not now.
Goulding dropped goal, 1 point. Just decided to take the one on offer.
Under pressure. Bang, straight in. All the time in the world. They expected a long ball from Bobby Goulding. You can see how they just hesitated. No pressure applied. 1 point added.
Could be vital at the end of the night. 11 points to 8, the Saints lead. Well, I don't know about the players, Steve-O. We've got about 2¼ minutes left to half-time. I'm worn out just watching this.
Well, I'll be glad. I could do with a rest and a cup of tea.
Richard Henare will run this ball out again for Warrington. Seems to have been given something of a roving commission by John Dorahy. Mark Forster still believes, despite the fact that he now is topping the 30 mark, that he remains the fastest man on the Warrington books. Perolini wrestles Mark Hilton to the floor. Sumner now. Warrington delighted that Phil Sumner is back after horrendous injury problems. Harris to Rudd. Was going nowhere.
They got it wrong. Harris wanted him on the outside. Run went on the inside.
High kick from Willie Swan. Prescott's after this. Oh, and Prescott, a mistake. A rare mistake from Steve Prescott. That'll be a dropout underneath his own post.
Well, he's one of the fullbacks that always makes sure that if he can get to it, he'll take it. He doesn't know what sort of pressure is behind him. You don't take time to look around. He is one of those safety-first fullbacks that does not let the ball bounce if he can. It didn't come off on that occasion. Testing, few seconds to half-time now for the Saints.
Penny runs the ball back after that first handling error from Steve Prescott of this match. A near faultless 40 minutes from Prescott. The irony of it is he didn't have to go for that because there was no one around him. Mind you, we say that fullbacks shouldn't let the ball bounce. And Goulding was nearly in. He's trying to kid the referee.
He knows he's knocked on, but he thought, I'll go another extra 20 metres. just to work up the clock. No, a man as experienced as the whistleblower David Campbell does not miss those, Bobby.
Willie Swan gets the possession from the scrum, approaching half-time. Sculthorpe down the middle, bounces off Hammond, can't get away from Perolini. Good pressure here from Warrington, right on half-time. Swan, Hilton's hauled down. Bennett from dummy half. Bennett so close. There's the half-time siren. Referee David Campbell has heard it, but I think he's given a penalty to Warrington.
Offside. Well, they've got to take the 2 points on offer now.
Surely they must.
Or will they risk? Yeah, common sense prevailed there. Easton Harris pointing to Campbell saying, we'll take the 2 on offer. Saints fans don't like it. But he allowed the advantage, did David Campbell, and then went back to the penalty. They were holding the man down. See how he told him, get off, and Chris Joint took an eternity. It's no good looking at the referee. You could see that David Campbell got him very close and said, release him. It was too late for Chris Joint.
Chris Joint knows, I think, that he is about to concede another 2 points to Warrington, because the siren has gone, and this will surely be the last action of this first half. And it puts Warrington right back in this match. Harris gets the 2. That's half-time, and what a half it's been. Warrington 10, the Saints 11. Easton Harris from bang in front with that 3rd successful kick from him. Paul Cullen leading from the front for Warrington as always, as is Bobby Goulding. It's been a terrific contest between these two, and what a half for Steve Prescott. Try-serving tackles and a 4-pointer. Saints just ahead. Great game. Just the Bobby Goulding drop goal separating these two sides. It's a try apiece, 3 goals apiece. But Bobby Goulding's 1-pointer in front of the sticks gives St Helens a half-time score of 11 points to 10. March the 29th, Super League kicked off. And I tell you what, on Friday and Saturdays and on Sunday on our highlights programmes, the action has been coming at you thick and fast. And this game tonight is no exception. It is a magnificent contest. Martin of Fire, Super League, super stuff.
This is what it's all about, you know, 2 top teams, you know, they're just going at it hammer and tong. You know, and it's still anyone's game, you know, Bobby's drop goal there, you know, who knows, you know, that could be the difference at the end of the day.
What is it this season? I know the players now are full-time pros, but surely that doesn't make a heap of difference. Is it the different conditions we've got?
Yeah, I think it is. I think, you know, you've got some, like, top athletes now, you know, they're fully professional, they train, you know, nearly every day of the week. 2 top teams here together today. The conditions are perfect. You know, they're just going at it. They're just giving, you know, asking no quarter and giving no quarter. It's great to watch.
It's fabulous entertainment, Steve-O. We sit there almost open-mouthed, don't we, every week?
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful, isn't it? And I think the fans are enjoying it. I'm sure the viewers are. It's the skills that's been on show. I mean, some of the tackles have been absolutely outstanding. And the way that Coe Love went through, and the step and the way that he glides through, as Martin said, it's a fully professional game now. We're not part-timers. We are a full-time, full professional sport. And it's showing, because the game is strong, the game is fast, and it's just absolutely wonderful to watch.
You just wonder where it's all going to end, because it seems that every week it gets better and better, and this tonight is a fabulous advert for the Super League.
It sure is, and I think that also you've got to give a lot of credit to the coaches, because they're trying to keep the ball alive. They're coming up with different options. We've seen now that they're still using the bomb St Helens, but Warrington trying to use the power play, running on the 6. It's all about tactics, and it's showing up well.
It is showing up well. We've had some great tries, we've had some fantastic tackling, and Lee Penny, of course, is the talking point here after the first half. Steve-O, you were very critical of him, particularly with this where he conceded the try to Prescott.
Well, you can see there, he didn't actually jump up and try to concede with Prescott. You've got to get yourself above. and you've got to get the arms up there. You get the elbows in and out of it, but it's no protection. That's a big problem.
Yeah, I think you always, I mean, he could have probably attacked the ball himself. Instead, he was underneath the ball. Instead, if he backed off or something and attacked the ball himself, because somebody who's charging towards you is always going to, you know, get above you. A lot of people were critical, you know, of the Bradford fullback at Wembley, but you know, Bobby Golden, you know, he's master of the bomb last season. You know, it was you know, the crossfield kick, you know, for the opposite winger, you know, which I benefited from against Wales. But this year it seems to be the bomb. But I think Warrington, you know, John Doherty's got term. They've got to get their you know, defence sorted out. The wingers or the centres have got to come and protect the fullback, because I don't believe that, you know, a fullback, if you catch a ball or you drop it, then that's your own fault. But you know, if other people get through to contest, then it's the whole team who are really at fault.
Well, the fullbacks, of course, very much under the spotlight in the battle. And, Steve-o, I think it's Steve Prescott's night so far, but Lee Penny's trying his heart out.
Well, he is. He's a man that's making great yardage, and there you can see 5 hit-ups. But that's coming about by the fact that Bobby Goulding is kicking a lot more than what the St Helens side, the Warrington side are doing, and they're putting the pressure onto him. But getting back to that situation, we seem to have lost the knack now of the forwards sort of protecting the full back. It used to be a job of getting there, get 2 people in front, and then at the last moment, just as the ball's coming down, take a step backwards. It takes a very brave man to go through them.
I mean, Prescott just got a clear run, then. He didn't even need to sidestep, get around somebody. He had his full momentum, you know, a clear jump. It just shouldn't be allowed to happen.
But not only did he come up with the 4-pointer, he came up with 2 magnificent try-saving tackles as well in that first half. He's had a big half. But what a talent this Toa Koe Love is, eh?
Well, he has got a great deal of talent. He's got a lot of pace, and we saw how he run in the curve. But the one thing that really amazed me is the way that this Bennett playing a hooker, I mean, that was a superb pass. He could see that they were just a little bit slow on the blind side. But look at that step. The right timing, and he's got the speed. Quite happy with it too. He's a class act.
He is. And Martin, he fancies England because his mum's from Hull.
Yeah, but I think I heard one thing they said, you know, a lot of the times when these overseas sportsmen, you know, want to pick to play for England or Great Britain, a lot of the time, no, it's because their own country, their initial country where they live, normally doesn't want to pick them, you know, so, you know, I'm not so sure. I think a few years ago, Phil McKenzie, you know, wanted to play for Great Britain again, I think because he couldn't get into the Australian side, so I'm not really all for these people wanting to play for Great Britain just because they can't get in the New Zealand side or Australian side.
But you can't blame the lad for trying.
Oh, without
they've ignored Henry Paul for long enough, the Kiwis, why not?
Yeah, true, but, you know, I think that if all the while, if you want to play for Great Britain and you feel that you are British, then you should play for them. But, you know, I don't think you should play for Great Britain just because you can't get the Kiwis. So.
Well, it doesn't matter whether he's an Englishman or a Kiwi, he is a great talent. Indeed, all the players on show here tonight are coming up with the goods for us once again here on Sky Sports. It's been a memorable first half, and I'm sure that we've got plenty more to come in the second. And the Saints are just shading it. That 1 point from Bobby Goulding, it could be so important at the end of the day. Saints are ahead 11 points to 10, but who's going to win it in the second half? Stay where you are. Welcome back to Wilderspool for what has been so far a truly memorable encounter between these two. Warrington 10, St Helens 11 at half-time. It couldn't be closer. And Warrington certainly owe the Saints one for that club record defeat of 80 points to 0 in the Regal Trophy last season, and also 54-14 in the league at Knowsley Road 3 days later. But Steve Prescott, the full-back for Saints, has certainly caught the eye here tonight. Great try, and 2 or 3 fine try-saving tackles as well. And who is up for this most in the second half? It's a question now of desire. Which club wants it more? Koe Love came up with a wonderful try, and Bobby Goulding gets the second half underway. And what a second 40 minutes this promises to be. Cullen with the first run, met by Hammond and Matautia. We had a great game involving Saints and Wigan on Good Friday. This, in many ways, Steve-o, is equally as good, if not better.
Well, it's a test of the character of Saints now. We said in the first half that Warrington wanted to see how good they were. Well, if they can come up with a win, It really will shock the Saints, who are on a high. And let's not forget that their coach, Sean McRae, this is his 13th game, and yet to be on the losing side.
Unlucky for some, 13, we shall see. Fifth tackle, the opening set of 6 by Warrington. Harris will drift the ball over the top, takes a little kick, and Steve Prescott just content to allow the ball on that occasion to run dead.
Obviously the tactics from the Warrington coach, John Dorrie, saying make sure that we kick the ball deep and get the chase going, but the eagle eye of Steve Prescott watched it all the way over the dead-in goal line.
Morley runs the ball out again for St Helens. He's 10 metres inside his own half, as is Goulding. He hands it on to Perolini. Apollo Perolini came over here with a big reputation. The Terminator, they called him. My word, he terminates a few people in the tackle. Terrific tackles in that first half from the big prop forward. Made 12 tackles in all, and Cunningham makes good yards now for Saints.
Tremendous
from the dummy half roll.
Oh, tremendous run there. But once again, we were short there, no support.
That's a good crossfield kick. Well picked up, though, by Richard Henare. And he caught the ball in the field of play, says referee Campbell. It's a dropout. He's got a point.
Yep.
He came from the field of play.
In a great position as well, David Campbell. Better position than the crowd, who are giving the merry whistleblower the bird.
Well, if they look at the big screen, Steve-O, they'll see he's absolutely right. Look.
Yep, but they'll probably blink at this point.
Perolini will run it back then for St Helens.
We haven't seen the little chip over the top from Bobby Goulding yet. I just suspect that might be on now.
Cunningham to Morley. Cunningham again in the dummy half. Hammond. Here's Goulding. Helps it on to Joint, who helps it on to Newlove. Newlove try! They didn't want to tackle him. And Newlove, it looked easy, but believe me, it wasn't. Unlucky 13 for Newlove, or is it lucky 13?
He looked so casual. They opted for the link, and it was a good one. Long ball, super stuff. And look how he just moved in. There was nothing that Coelho could do about that. He looks to be just ambling. The big fella, the big centre. It was good, quick hands, Joint. See how he runs the angle, just fended off Coelho, said get out of the way. He's so strong. He makes it look so easy. It's the way that he runs in the arc. See how he shifts the ball across so he can fend. That is talent of the highest. Great try. Hot knife through butter.
A £500,000 man, Paul Newlove, and he has now scored tries in his last 6 Super League games. He's worth the big money. Goulding, 3 out of 3. He's not missed one yet. This is the most difficult of the evening so far. From the tee, trying to drift it in. Oh, it's a great kick. 17-10, Saints take a stranglehold.
It all came from the long pass, with Goulding moving forward. You could see the 3 Warrington defenders, and look how he just went through there. The arc run, the strength of the man.
They had the one-man overlap on the outside, and Newlove was through the gap that was left because of that. 17-10, the perfect start to the second half for the league leaders. Goulding's kick-off, fielded by Rudd, handed on to Cullen. Phil Sumner plays the ball. It's now with Willie Swan into the arms of Harris.
They've kept a quiet hold on him, haven't they? Harris has not had a chance to get through. He'll be happy, Sean McRae, especially with that try.
He will be. It's a great start to the second half. Chatting to him, he says the last thing he wants, Steve-O, is for people like us to start calling the Saints invincible.
Well, he's not fooled by that. He knows that they're not yet. He reckons they're only about 50% of the way. And that's good thinking. He keeps his feet on the ground.
Kick downfield from Willie Swan off the outside of the boot.
He's found it pretty hard going as Willie Swan. Came on as a substitute last week.
And I think the pace is just about getting to him.
Hammond on to Prescott, on to the fearsome figure of Matautia. Well stuck to his guns there by Jonathan Roper. Prescott surrounded by three: Rudd, Harris, Roper. Goulding now. Joint. Offloads the pass superbly. Cunningham does the same to Booth. Can't get away though from Cullen and Sculthorpe. Two second rowers hunting in pairs. Hammond.
Good solid defence by Warrington. They're moving up quickly. Easton Harris blocking everything out.
Oh, Leatham took on little Andy Bennett, shoulder to shoulder. Goulding now. That hunched little run of his puts Joint through the hole. Off the deck goes the pass to Booth. Booth is clobbered by Forster. They keep it alive. Prescott to Hammond. A little dab over the top. Referee is shouting at Danny Arnold. He's offside. Didn't matter anyway. Ball found touch. Hammond's kick under pressure.
Nice thinking though by Hammond. Ball came back on the blind side. Wasn't prepared for it. But good refereeing by David Campbell. He was shouting at the young winger Danny Arnold that he was offside. Made no difference. It'll be a head and feed to Warrington.
Referee has called time off because one of the Warrington players is receiving treatment. It's Andy Bennett, the hooker. Fully recovered now. Wind back in the sails. Just took a little breather. Scrum goes down. Fed by Swan. Out the back door with Sculthorpe. Lovely ball. Coe Love. It's Richard Henare. Beg pardon. Richard Henare. All the way from one end to the field to the other. And Henare will score. Henare's been threatening that all night. He's been all over this field. One side to the other. And from the scrum, he picked up and scored.
What a superb move. Look how Wainwright uses the referee. Superb back on the inside. And Ari, he knew it was on. It was one of the best moves that I've seen this season. That was sheer class. They used the referee, David Campbell, to absolute perfection. And the St. Helens side, as so often any side does, when they bring the fullback up at the scrum, there is just no one at home. Henare, hip hip, Henare is there. Great stuff. Do you see how he uses the referee there? They moved them across. That is superb. Nothing wrong with it. They know that the referee stands on the blind side. It was a superb pass from the loose forward. Sculthorpe, or should I say second row today.
Great try from Henare then. Now Easton Harris looking for the extra two. Well, Warrington will not be brushed aside. The man from Carlisle, Richard Henare, has certainly stepped up a class here. But Harris has pulled the conversion wide. 17-14.
See how they pull Morley across there, and Henare is away. Where on earth did he come from? That's what the Saints defender says. And he appeared round the back of the referee, David Campbell. What a tremendous try.
Oh, and John Dorahy breathing a sigh of relief as well. That was a great try from Richard Henare, the man that they brought from Carlisle last season. 10 tries in 7 games for Carlisle, so he knew where the whitewash was before he got here. Well, hang on to your seats. Leatham off, Pickavance has come on, and Pickavance has been quite an influence on this St Helens side whenever he has appeared this season. And there he is. Joint.
It's important now that Warrington tighten their defence, apply the pressure to the Saints side now.
Goulding almost through the gap, wrestled to the floor, and well done by Sumner.
Did well, ball and all tackle, it was fair.
Oh,
it was
Hammond.
tough.
Another tester for Penny, he's standing still again. It came off for him this time, but nobody offering him protection in front of him.
None whatsoever, it was just a little bit too deep.
Steve Prescott knew that. But what a great option from Hammond. Bang it went. Just a little bit too far. You could see the fullback Lee Penny lift his knee up. That was the only protection he was going to get.
Forster taking on Newlove. Lee Penny, a man in the firing line tonight. Sumner.
Well, this crowd, Eddie, it's still buzzing by that try. That was tremendous. Great skills.
Sculthorpe. We mention talented youngsters. This fellow is as talented as them all. Paul Sculthorpe, 18 years of age, that's all. Bennett. Long kick downfield. Bennett's after it. Henari's after it. There's a wall of blue shirts to greet Steve Prescott, and Richard Henari gets to him first. Crowd scream for the knock-on, and the referee and touch judge say it was. Mistake from Danny Arnold. The play of the ball was a bit too much behind him.
Yep. They played it far too quickly, and he made a meal of it. But it was a great kick from Andy Bennett, the little hooker. Took it on the blind side, punched it right down to the field, and that's when we talk about the kickers is only good as a chase, and they applied the pressure, and they've come up with the goods now.
Andy Bennett's gone off to be replaced by Welsh international Mark Jones. Harris gets the pass back. Oof, big hit by Matautia on Jonathan Roper. Cullen. Hilton.
Watch for the switch back onto the blind side.
Willie Swan thought about it. Rudd in at dummy half. Mark Jones. First touch for him.
Matautia comes up with the football. The crowd are going bananas. The players can't hear the whistle. He's going to play the first knock-on.
Well, Jones lost it, there's no doubt about that. There was a hand in it with Matautia.
Well, the sub has just come on, and then he puts the pressure on. Now then, was Matautia? Yeah, Matautia has definitely dragged that ball out.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
Surely the touch judge should have seen that.
David Campbell had a word with the touch judge, and then he put the scrum down because the referee was unsighted. The Saints are in possession anyway. 53 minutes gone. A battle royal at Wilderspool.
Good work by Chris Joint there. Quick play of the ball, he made good meters.
Good tackling again by this Warrington side, and they're forcing the man back with the football. That's the last tackle. Kick into open space. Henari will take the zero tackle. Well, they're exciting to watch, both these sides, and I fancy that this game has got a few more pages to turn yet.
Quick play of the ball, that's what Warrington need. But some of the defence from both these players are absolutely sensational.
Willie Swan to Mark Hilton. It's been a great contest. Hilton against Perolini. Harris gets the pass away. Coelho. Toa Coelho takes on Goulding. Can't get away from the next two though. Hammond and Cunningham doing just enough to halt the momentum. Swan, Harris dabs the kick through. It's a bit shallow though for Forster. Prescott. Oh, he took the chance, and Harris was charging after him.
It was bobbing and weaving. He kept an eye on it. You can see he just had a quick glance. Let's get out of here. Good chase though by Harris. Great positional play by Steve Prescott, but it was a well-weighted kick by the Welsh wizard Justin Harris. Prescott knows they're under pressure.
Underneath the dropout is Mark Jones. Jones picks up pace He's been brought on to add a bit of height and weight to this Warrington pack. Chris Joint didn't like the fact he was bounced out of the way. Coe Love.
Will they work the blind side and enter the link?
Swan. New Love after him, wrestles him to the floor. Just 10 metres from the line, Warrington. Harris thought about the pass to Chambers, thought better of it. Still going Harris, not for long. Cullen, the acting halfback. Swan, Sculthorpe. Good tackling. Great tackle by Hammond. Swan dabs it through. It's taken out, and the ball runs dead.
Swan claiming he was impeded, but the defenders don't have to move. When he put the thing through, well, maybe he did. Maybe the Saints player did actually take a step into him.
Without a doubt. Pickavance.
Well, there you see it, and he definitely moved across Pickavance, taking him away.
Incredible at these live matches on Sky Sports. When incidents like that happen, all the crowd looks to our big screen. And they see what happens, and they let the referee know.
Great tackle there by Sculthorpe on the big centre, Newlove. This is going to go right down to the wire. The tension is building.
That's it up and under in every sense of the word from Goulding. Matauti has knocked it forward. It's the turnover, was on the last tackle.
Clear knock on. Warrington quite happy, knowing it was the last, just to let him get towards it. I don't know what had happened if he'd taken on the full. There was no fullback at home. Lee Penny had come up into the line.
Swan, a long ball, it was risky to Forster. He escapes the clutches of Newlove, but can't get away from Joint. Sculthorpe to Swan again. Hilton.
Well, you can see, Eddie, the one line of defence has been excellent from both sides. It's going to take some brilliance to break through this. Little chip over, perhaps, something different. They are tackling their hearts out, both sides.
Cullen gets it away to Harris. Harris gives it into the chest of John Roper. And Saints working overtime to bring him down. Last tackle. Harris will hoist the bomb. Prescott's after this. That's the way to take them.
Not only how to take them, that's a way to protect them. Look at that. We talked about it at half-time. Get the two big forwards in there. It takes a brave man to go bouncing through them. Saints have got it right. Look at that. Nothing that Sculthorpe could do about it.
Newlove trying to spin away from the tacklers. Hilton and Sumner were there. Goulding. Nice little reverse pass to Hammond. Warrington alert to it, though. Cunningham. Chris Joint. Out the back door to Pickavance. Joint coming on in support. He's got Alan Hunt with him. There's Hunt. Hunt applies the brakes. Spins away from 1, 2, but not the third.
It was high as well from Sculthorpe. He's playing the advantage. His referee, David Campbell, has given Sculthorpe a warning on the run.
And it's Hammond. Hammond gets it to Matauti. Does he know? Hammond goes down, but he's held short. No try.
They run the power play. They didn't opt for the kick. And it's a turnover.
It's not. What's more, he's conceded a penalty. Hammond didn't release the ball. Well, this match has got everybody on the end of their seats.
Tremendous tackling, though. They really put their bodies on the line on that occasion. But what a silly thing for Hammond to do, to not give the ball away. At least Saints could have kept them camped down in the Warrington quarter.
Phil Sumner. We're entering the last quarter of this match, and Toa Coe-Love leaves the field to be replaced by Paul Barrow. And McVie has returned to the fray. There he is, number 16, in place of Simon Booth. Harris, oh, big hit by Matauti. Rudd steps inside Newlove. Newlove gets back to him.
Second bite at the cherry there, but he got to him in time.
That's Paul Barrow, his first touch. Paul Barrow, a former St Helens Academy player. How he would love to figure on the winning side tonight. Willie Swan. Good crossfield kick. Arnold fumbles it out. Runs dead in goal. Drop out again from underneath the Saints crossbar. Some pressure here.
Tremendous thinking from Willie Swan. Saints anticipated he was going to kick into the right corner, but he came right across the face of the goal mouth. And there you see the young winger. He could not keep control. Danny Arnold. That's his second error, and it could prove costly.
Lee Penny will run this ball back at the St Helens defence. Warrington seeking the lead for the first time here tonight. It's been St Helens who have been ahead from the start. Roles reversed compared to last Sunday when it was the Broncos who were dictating the pattern early on, and then Saints came back strongly in the last quarter of the match. It's Warrington on the attack now with Jones.
Well, we haven't seen many runs from Houston Harris yet. Just a glimpse midway through the second half, but he's the man that can produce the skills.
Tight for Harris, he gets it away to Swan. This now is Barrow again. Paul Barrow grounded. Chris Joynt has worked so hard in attack and defence. Harris fires the pass into the arms of Sculthorpe. That looked as though it was raked from him. The referee says it's back to 0 on the tackle count. It's play on.
And he's right as well. The St Helens hand touched it. He had chance to gain possession.
Mark Jones on the charge. Mark Jones will score. And he gives Warrington the lead for the first time tonight. But he doesn't score many, the big Welshman. That's his first in Super League. And he chimed in then from 12 metres out. And he bounced through them. A great try for Warrington.
It all came about from this mistake. Sculthorpe tried to keep it alive. Now watch for the hand there. And I think it was Cullen that got to it. The weight of him pushed him off. I think you'll find that Hammond it is that goes down and tries to get it, but look at the run from Jones. Bang! They were blitzed. Nothing was going to stop this guy. Oh! Top gear. Bang! Get out of the way. Morley had no chance. Prescott tried, but it was far too late. He didn't score many, but what a vital one that could be.
The first try that Mark Jones has scored for Warrington in this, his 100th career appearance in the game of rugby league. First Super League try, priceless for Warrington. Let me just check, they have the lead for the first time. Harris, 3 out of 4 tonight. This one, he should get. Extra 2 for Warrington and Harris. 20 points to 17. Warrington hit the front, first time.
Notice the circle defenders. They don't move enough, quick enough. They hang back. You can't hang back for a big fella like this. Bang, straight over the top. You've got to force them into pressure. And they failed to do that. And the big Welshman, he'll be happy.
He'll be delighted, and he will be a key figure for Wales in June when the European Championship starts. Wales, England and France, you'll be able to see the matches live here with us on Sky Sports. Tommy Martin has come on for Carl Hammond, and Tommy Martin has been the man who has turned games for St Helens. So often this season does he hold the key here tonight.
They don't call him super sub for nothing. And I think it's perhaps the last throw of the dice for the Saints coach, Sean McRae. But what a bruising game it's been. Saints aren't out of this yet. Don't worry about that. They've got the character to come forward.
Anxious times for Sean McRae, the St Helens coach. Knows he's gone 12 matches and has won them all. This is the 13th. Who's superstitious? Are Australians superstitious? Is John Dorahy?
You can see the tension there on the Warrington coach. He's not smiling. He knows it's not over yet. Long way to go.
Well, the coaches aren't smiling, Steve-O, but there is a smile on the face of Super League, because this is another match right out of the top drawer. It's tremendous entertainment again.
No one's leaving, that is for sure. And what a fine game by the referee, David Campbell. It's been rough and tough out there, but he's kept talking to all the players. He's keeping them under control. He's calming them down when it looks as though it's ready to explode. They play their part too.
Harris, almost through the gap. Perolini quick to shut the door with pick of Vance. Last tackle here for Warrington. Cullen to Willie Swan, and that's good enough for Swan and Warrington.
Good thinking from the little halfback. Safety first, play the percentage style football. They're the team that's in front. Just keep kicking them back. Make sure those big Saints forwards have to turn around. As the clock ticks away, the pressure rises.
Goulding gets the possession. Look at that defence from Rudd. And Harris on Tommy Martin. And Harris was very quickly off the mark. And Tommy Martin was appealing to the referee. Big work from both these sides. Two vital points at stake. Warrington, at third in the table, will be right in the hunt for the Super League title here if they hang on and win. Look at the crunching tackle then from Jones on McVie.
Oh, he put the shoulder to it then. They're fired up, Warrington.
Tommy Martin gets the pass away to Hunt. Good tackling by Rudd. 55 metres they made. Joint to Newlove, and Newlove will hoist another kick. This time Penny's got all the time in the world. So much time that allows Richard Henare to pick up.
Well, Saints should never allow the centre Newlove to kick that football. Bobby Goulding should have been in there screaming for that. We saw in the first half how he could put the bomb high. It was a wasted kick from Newlove. The Saints coach, Sean McRae, must be spewing over that one.
Barrow on halfway releases the pass to Sculthorpe. He dipped the shoulder, tried to go round Martin. Workington Wigan tomorrow night. You can see the champions up at Derwent Park. A real David and Goliath affair, that one. Workington bottom, Wigan. Can they go top if St Helens are beaten tonight? Harris almost through the gap. Joint inevitably, and Goulding there. Last tackle here for Warrington. And Willie Swan hoists the bomb. Prescott, brilliant take again. He launches the attack. Great run from Prescott. He's away from Swan. He's got the legs, has he, on Penny? No, magnificent tackle. Lee Penny. But that was the zero tackle, so 6 to go here for for St Helens.
What a tremendous cover there. It's been a great battle between the two fullbacks. Superb cover tackle from Lee Penny. It looked as though Steve Prescott had the legs. Warrington struggling back into defence.
Joint, pick of Vance, Cunningham, steps, Cunningham, support is there from Perolini. Perolini couldn't get hold of it. Oh, it's interception! John Roper's trying to take on Prescott. He cut him inside out. Roper towards the corner. Roper, great try, Roper! Momentum took him home. And Jonathan Roper, it's his first full appearance of the season. Blood pouring from a nose injury, but he gets his second try in Super League. And how important might that one be?
Well, Kieran Cunningham did everything possible to keep the ball alive. It was a great run. And then the big fella, Apollo Perolini, it was try time. But this fella really got away. Jonathan Roper hits it in. He went in and out. The blood is streaming down his face, into the mouth. He won't mind. It's the kind of claret that he can toast the victory with. Perolini tried to keep it alive. You could see Saints had 4 on 2. But this man, he spoiled the party. Prescott is just absolutely out on his feet. Momentum takes it. He did not move the arm. The pressure went over. He slid in. He'll get a blood bin for this, but he won't mind. What a tremendous interception.
2 tries in 7 minutes for Warrington. And the match has turned upside down for Saints. Harris now with an important conversion. Way out on the touchline. Doesn't reach, pulls the ball in front of the posts. 24 points to 17. Hey, this isn't over yet.
This is the take. Super stuff from Steve Prescott. I thought he was going to make it. I think Lee Penny did too. But Penny, he just cut the angle to perfection. What a brilliant tackle. And then the interception there. Jonathan Roper, in and out. And you could see that little step inside was enough just to make Steve Prescott hesitate. Enough for him to get over. He'll remember that for many years to come.
Certainly will. He has gone in the blood bin, I think, Jonathan Roper. Or is he still out there? He's been patched up and he's still out there. But what end-to-end action, what thrilling stuff here at Wilderspool tonight. Absolutely fabulous, and there's a penalty. Rudd not allowing Apollo Perolini to get to his feet. Lucky he's not in the bin, Steve-O.
Yeah, well, he should be. He looks as though he's just done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. But as you said, it's not over yet.
It certainly isn't, not when this fella's on. Martin. Oh, high tackle from Penny.
He's got to go for that.
And the piling in, St Helens.
I'm sorry, I know that Hunt came back on the inside. It's getting a little bit excitable down there. Cunningham didn't like it, but I'm afraid he's got to go for that. Back on the inside, you can see the swinging arm. It is a bad one. He cannot surely be left on the field with that.
He's on his way to the dressing room. The red card for Lee Penny. And Lee Penny's evening has turned to dust. Lee Penny was sent off at Knowsley Road when they lost 54-14, but for nothing like that.
That was a bad one. He knew he was well beaten. Desperation, but that is no excuse. Now then, Bobby Goulding is going to go for 2.
Yes, he is. You can't blame him at 24-17. Kick this,
yep.
24-19. And hey, get ready for a finish.
The only problem is, though, that they do kick off, remember, Saints. The new rule, they will give Warrington the football. It is a big gamble. They've decided to make sure they get the 2 and then go for the converted try to pull off a victory.
Well, it's 4 from 4 for Goulding, and that's the angle that he has. Sean McRae can hardly bear to watch the St Helens coach. Big kick this for Goulding. He's come up with a 2. Coolest man on Wilderspool is Sean McRae. 24-19, 5 points the difference. A converted try, and Saints will win. And Warrington now down to 12 men for the last 7 minutes.
Bobby Goulding screaming, saying, where's the football? There should have been one there at the halfway. He had to kick it from the touchline.
Don't forget, we are at Wilderspool.
Have we got nerves of steel, or what? This will test the character of the Warrington side. It's up your jumper time now, I can tell you.
Well, one man has come into the fray, Tommy Martin again, and hasn't he made a difference to this St Helens side? We are in for quite a 6.5 minutes. It's been good so far. It could be spectacular now.
You can see the skipper, Paul Cullen, he's gone into dummy half on the last 2 play the balls. He knows he's got to direct it. Just calm it down, drive them, play out the 6, and the big kick is on.
Harris will drop the ball over the top. Danny Arnold's after it, and this will be a 0 tackle. Danny Arnold trying to escape the clutches. Well, eventually they got to him. But that's 0 tackle, so the count up to 6 starts now. Hunt.
The Warrington defence are just throwing themselves at him. They're still moving forward. That'll be back to 6.
It is, and Newlove's picked it up. That's the first of this new set of 6. Martin, Goulding, they're trying to run them out wide. They know they have a man extra. Matautia gets the pass away. Goulding's in support. Dumped to the floor by Cullen. The 2 captains tangling over there. Martin, Chris Joint. 5 minutes to go. 5 points the difference. Pickavance. McVie is through a gap. McVie has got Swan. He has Pickavance. And Pickavance will score for Saints. Ian Pickavance sends them dancing with delight on the terraces. Those who've come from St Helens. And Pickavance, with quite the most important try he's probably ever scored.
What a tremendous fight back. McVie, off he goes, the Australian. He kept his cool, he committed them fully. Tremendous stuff. Pickavance, the man that has sent the Saints fans absolutely balmy. Look at this. The Australian, very few offloads in this game. And Pickavance gleefully bangs it down under the black dot. Surely Bobby Goulding can't miss this.
Well, converted try, we said, would wrest the lead back from Warrington. He gets the extras. He puts the ball over the top of the roof. And St Helens now have a 1-point lead. Well, they've trod thin ice many times this season. They're at it again.
McVie did well. He committed. He waited until the very last moment. And good support, though, from the number 10, Pickavance. What a remarkable turnaround. Well, Warrington looked as though they had this game well and truly in their pockets.
He doesn't get many, Ian Pickavance, but how vital have they been this season? Remember, he's been used as a substitute, and he scored against Wigan. He scored at Wembley, and he scored here tonight.
It just goes to show you that this is not just a game of 13 aside. Your subs are so important. Your strength to be able to bring on people like that. Pickavance and Martin. And he's come up with the goods. Can Warrington get it now?
Well, less than 3 minutes to go. Warrington on the halfway line with their captain Cullen to Hilton. Who would be a coach? John Doherty thought the match was won. Now they're having to come from behind. Sumner. It's the drop goal from Goulding that separates the two. Will Warrington work their way towards the post and reply? Foster, they're thinking of 4. Got the ball inside to Swan. Desperate defence from Saints.
Another great tackle from Chris Joint. He's run himself to a standstill as Joint.
Harris drops it. Got to be a knock on. Willie Swan saying that's down to 0, referee. Referee says we'll have the scrum, thanks.
It was pulled out by Parolini one-on-one, and that's fair on. Forster did well. But look at the tackle there. Oh, Swan could not get through. Newlove over the top.
Chris Joint has made 25 tackles tonight, and that may be one of the most important. Goulding hanging on. Chris Joint had a magnificent match. This has been a game and a half. Such an advert for this new summer sport that is hitting your screens on Sky Sports. You cannot fail but to be impressed by this. 24-25. Scintillating. Castleford, London. We'll have exclusive highlights for you on Sunday night at 10.
What a fine game he's had. Kieran Cunningham runs from dummy half. He knows how important now. Bobby Goulding will kick. It's a deep one.
He doesn't find touch, though. He finds Richard Henari. And the Saints know what this fella can do. We are in the last minute. Warrington have got 6 tackles to get up the other end of the field. They're in possession with Sculthorpe.
They've got to work the blind side. Here they come.
Harris to Rudd. Pickavance rather is there.
And who else? That man joint.
Willie Swan. Cullen to Sculthorpe. Matautia was there and nearly got the intercept. It's great defence from Saints so late on. But they have to defend. It's a narrow lead. 1 point. Roper, whose try, he must have thought he'd won it. Here's Harris.
They've kept him quiet. It's been a great defensive effort by Saints. He's hurt, is Harris. They've crunched him nearly every time he's been in possession.
Willie Swan dabs it through. Pickavance stood in his way, and Pickavance has been penalised. Use of the shoulder, he got away with it earlier.
Little kick through from Swan, and you could see there that Pickavance definitely made the move. Oh, these are tense times.
And they must kick for goal, surely. They must offer Harris or Rudd the opportunity to kick for goal. Because Harris is injured. Paul Cullen has said to Rudd, you have a go. We're deep in stoppage time. Well, what more drama? Rudd fancies it. Sculthorpe had a little word with him. Harris was injured in that crunching tackle. It'll be one of the longest penalty goals we have seen if he lands it. 1 Super League goal so far this season for Rudd. He's nearly in front, but he's just a metre in the St Helens half. This to win it for Warrington. If he misses, Saints stay top of the league. He's got chances, this. He's missed it. Saints celebrate. Pickavance runs it out. Still Pickavance.
He's a relieved man as well. It was Pickavance that gave the penalty.
And there's the full-time siren. And the Saints, who have gone so close to losing this 100% record, have held on to it grimly. 24 points to 25. A quite memorable, magnificent contest between these two. Outstanding. Warrington thought they'd won it at 24-17. Goulding kicked the goal 6 minutes from time to put St Helens within a converted try of winning the match. And Ian Pickavance came up with the 4 points 4 minutes from the end. Goulding added the goal. It's 25-24. Wonderful, wonderful entertainment at Wilderspool. A pity there had to be a loser. Warrington have lost. The Saints are 100% league leaders still. And I tell you what, the happiest man in Warrington now will be the St Helens skipper, Bobby Goulding, who's with Alistair Mann.
Well, Bobby, you certainly believe in doing it the hard way, don't you?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough. I told Sky viewers, before the game that it was going to be one almighty game. But isn't it great this summer rugby? You know, every game that's been on Sky, it's been an absolute cracker. And, we're not playing well, but like I say, we're still winning the games.
Well, you're going to go unbeaten in a way that everyone's going to enjoy.
Well, that's right, even the Warrington spectators, they've been absolutely terrific today. Our spectators have been magnificent. They got right behind us when we went. I think it was 5 points behind. But like I say, a win's a win.
Did you think you were beaten?
No, you never say die until that final whistle goes. You just got to keep going. And if you're always trying, if you're always giving 100%, and you've always got a chance.
A different super sub this time for you with Ian Pickavance.
Yeah, well, Ian Pickavance, I told him before the game just to come on and keep playing as he has been doing. He hits the ball up hard, quick play the balls, and, big one picky.
Well, congratulations, and again, tremendous entertainment. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yes, thanks to the players of both sides. It has been quite simply magic tonight at Wilderspool. Saints have beaten Warrington by a point. They've beaten Halifax by 2. They beat London by 2. They're getting so close to losing this unbeaten tag. But with spirit like that in the camp, how long can they go on? We've had some great games in Super League this season, and I'm not sure that anything has been much better than this. 4 tries to 3. Warrington outscored St Helens, but St Helens have come back for a famous win, 25-24. Let's hear from the Warrington captain. He must be really disappointed. Paul Cullen, live with Alistair Mann.
Well, Paul, it was a magnificent game. Can you take consolation from that?
Well, there's some positive things in the game. I thought the effort from Warrington was superb. But Saints, they're never dead and buried, are they? They keep coming back. And they broke us on our right-hand side again. That's Big McVeigh, I think, turned the ball inside. And, it's a full 80-minute game and we paid the price tonight. There are a lot of positives. We'll sit down and assess tomorrow and go from there. But I think tonight we've hit a level that we've not hit so far this season. Very disappointing at Wigan, even more so at Bradford. And I thought we saved a bit of face tonight. We've worked extremely hard and we've took ourselves to a different level. We worked well on the Saints' weaknesses, but not quite enough.
So in short, you raised your game tonight.
Well, I think we got ourselves to a level that we weren't sure we could get to, and I think we surprised ourselves. We pushed, a very, very good and very exciting team right to the wire, and we've got to take heart from that.
Well, thank you for coming out. You must feel very disappointed, and thanks for the entertainment once again.
More than welcome. Cheers.
Hear to that. It was a great game. St Helens, 16 points from 8 matches. Their 100% record stays intact. Warrington stay third, but they have played a game more now than the clubs below them and Wigan, who play tomorrow night. Well, here's the hero of the hour, Ian Pickavants of St Helens.
Well, normally we expect Tommy Martin to be super sub. Can you fill the role for us?
Well, I've been sub for the last 7 matches, so I think I can fill the role quite adequately.
What instructions were you given?
Well, mainly just to go on, tackle, take the ball up and score tries.
And what did that try line look like as you went towards it?
It was incredible, I couldn't believe it. When I think Tommy Martin was inside, I thought he was going to get the ball and it just went over his shoulder, it landed in my arms. I saw the line and knew it was in then.
All credit to Derry McVie for unloading in the tackle.
Oh, it was a great unload, yeah. I put him through the gap though.
Obviously now you've gone unbeaten once again, but the important thing is the character's still there for you to come from behind again.
Yeah, I think we've shown this season that the character is there in this side. We've come from behind on a lot of occasions now, and we're just going to keep doing it.
You came up with a big one in the Challenge Cup final at Wembley. How does this compare?
Not quite as good, but I've never scored a winning try before, so it feels good.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Ian Pickavants, he had a big influence on this game, despite the fact that he started it on the substitutes bench. Now, Martin O'Fire and Steve-O are going to talk us through the important moments of that match. And really, I suppose they all happened in the second half, didn't they, fellas?
Tremendous performance by both sides. I thought the defence was superb. When Newlove cut through there, I mean, he's so classy. He's got tremendous style.
Yeah, he's a great player, but, Hinari here came, I think, from a scrum move, broke and just had the whole field ahead of him. And it was good night. I think Arnold and the full-back, tried really hard, but he just about had the legs.
Was he looking at the screen there, Steve-O, to see how close they were behind him?
I don't think he was looking at anything other than the try line. He wanted to get over, but it was a tremendous set move. The way that they used the referee on the blind side was absolutely superb.
Now, Mark Jones, when he burst over here, Martin, it was good night, wasn't it?
There was no stopping him here. I felt very sorry for the fullback. Just walked all over him, but there's nothing he could do.
You could see, Martin, that the defence was a little bit lax then. They didn't move through. And this was try time for Saints. They had 4 on 1 man.
They're definitely over. It's just a case of you shouldn't really pass with your back to the opposition line, and they paid the price. So I was a bit upset for Prescott there. He just made a tremendous break, great take, great break. And, oh no, that's awful.
Well, this was a turning point for me in regards to Warrington. Down to 12. Beautiful pass by Pickavants. And McVie, he did the right thing. Newlove thought he was going to get it, but he could see that the support player was there.
They were just a man short, and that man was in the dressing room.
Yes, he was in the dressing room. You've got to feel sorry for Lee Penny. I mean, it was a reaction job, wasn't it? But again, he didn't pull the arm back when he realised what he'd done.
Look, he knew he was beaten. He knew he was beaten, and to sling your arm out like that is against the rules. It's against the spirit of the game, and I'm afraid that made the difference because they run out of players. When it was Pickavants that put McVie through that gap, and that was a bad one.
I don't think they should take that video if they go to the hearing, because...
I don't think they should take any video. I don't think they need to take a video on that one, Martin.
I don't think so. But what an advert, Martin, for this Super League.
It was great. I mean, it was billed as the Machine, the Invincibles versus the Pretenders, and, you know, the Pretenders nearly got up today. You know, Lee Penny should be hanging his head in shame there because, you know, I don't like to say it, but, you know, if he was on the pitch, I think Warrington would have sneaked it.
How disappointed will Warrington be tonight? The fact that they've outscored them 4 tries to 3.
I think they'll be very disappointed. I think Cullen said there that, you know, Warrington have hit a level today, you know, that they haven't hit all season, and, you know, to do that and to not win is very heartbreaking, especially to know that you could have won, you know, if you had the man on the pitch, you know. Very frustrating indeed.
Steve-O, how long can Saints go on? 2 against Halifax, 2 against London last week, 1 tonight. It's getting closer.
Well, it's not only just getting closer, it's showing that they've got character, and full credit to their coach, Sean McRae. He really has instilled a little bit of more firepower into it. And the way that he moves the substitutions, he always seems to come up with it, doesn't he? We saw that they just bring them on, and it's the super subs that are getting St. Helens out of it.
You made the point in commentary, and I'm sure, Martin, you would agree, it's now a 17-man game, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, the big clubs are, you know, quite happy. They've got a lot of class players. You know, they can have 4 class players on the bench and bring them on the likes of Tommy Martin and Pickavants. I know people are thinking that, you know, St. Helens are living a bit of a charmed existence at the moment. But sometimes, you know, you need that, not luck, but you need it to go for you to be able to, you know, win the big prize at the end of the season. Obviously, you know, Wigan are still up there, and we're going to give them, you know, a run for their money. They've still got to come to our house and take it away. So at the end of the day, as long as we keep winning, we realise, you know, it doesn't matter how many games, you know, St. Helens win. At the end of the day, to win the title, they've got to come to Central Park and win.
Well, they have got to go there.
Saints are showing the will to win.
They've got the character this year, haven't they?
A few seasons ago, and even maybe last season, they would have just sort of, heads would have gone down, but they're showing that will to win. Bobby Goulding said in the interview that we aren't playing all that well. We don't think that, and we know that we can do a little bit better, but we're still getting the wins. How many times have we been saying that about Wigan over the last 10 years? They have this will, they have this belief that they will produce the football to win it, just like Wigan have for the last 10 seasons.
Without a doubt, any champion side in any sport, you know, to win the long haul, the big prize, you know, the league championship, it's going to be a case you have to win games away where you're not playing particularly well, and you know, and St. Helens did that today.
Do you feel, Steve-O, that the balance of power is beginning to switch away from Central Park? They go to Workington tomorrow. They can't now go top.
I don't think as much that the balance of power is going away from Wigan. I think the fact that St. Helens are now catching up Wigan. They've got a damn good coach who knows that they've still got a long way to go. He knows that he's still got work to do with them.
8 out of 8 they are, though, and 100% at the top. Wigan can make ground on them tomorrow night. Workington against Wigan. See it with us live tomorrow at 7. Castleford, London on Sunday. Highlights from Weldon Road at 10. Boots and all next Thursday at 9. We'll reflect and look ahead to Bradford against Leeds next Friday at 7. That should be quite a match as well at Oddsall. Warrington, London, next Saturday, May the 25th at 7. On the same day as Steve-O goes rubbing shoulders with the rugby union mob, Bath against Wigan with Martin at Twickenham. He will be exclusively live on Sky Sports 2, will Steve-O. Martin, thanks for being with us. You can come again if you get matches like that. Steve-O, we'll see you tomorrow. It will be another cracker at Workington. David plays Goliath. We shall see you tomorrow, I trust. Bye-bye.